And there's the last bit I needed. I now have near inserters, so I can repaste these in here. Shoot. But they're gonna repaste everything. So let me just grab the inserters from the test world. Okay, I have them here. And time to just paste them down. So one right here, one right here, and one up here as well, except without this end piece. Well, I've completed my extremely expensive convoluted setup for my iron mine upgrade, including adding underground belts to make it one tile shorter, and the stackers to load and unload. Here goes our test. Oh, forgot to add the fuel. Alright, and here goes our test to see how it goes. Okay, so they're going in. The copper is getting stacked. It's turning into copper ore. Let's see the ash. Ash is going up as well. It seems to be doing the same thing. Just the thing is, this costs way more resources than what the previous one cost. Yeah, that's basically it. This is costing way more resources, and we're kind of low on resources right now. So I may hold off on it, but it also will get me higher iron throughput. Also testing these boxes, it seems like having two works for now. If one side ever gets full, then the whole thing will stop, but that makes sense. Yes, so this is my fast-paced long-term test. We have ash coming out, and we have copper ore coming out, so I think this is what we're gonna move forward with. It's gonna be a little expensive. Everything I'm doing is so expensive right now, so I think I'll only apply it to iron. But I realized doing so would halt the iron production while in transition, so I have to build up a ton of iron. Or I could see how much it costs beforehand by blueprinting it, and then I'll send that through, and hopefully it'll work out. Increase our iron throughput as well. Okay, to go along with our plan, I will be getting the stacking belt boxes research. And then also I realized another problem with just installing these is that I have to set up the rest of the network, especially just ash. All the ash now has to be stacked in order for me to change one, because now if one ash is stacked, they all got to get stacked. Which is a big commitment, especially because my network is so flooded with ash right now, it can't keep up. And I guess that's part of the reason we need to make the change, because we are flooded with ash. But if these conveyor belts were 8 times more dense with ash, then I'm sure this could handle it. Okay, so we got stacking, but I realized that stacking requires you to have simple circuit boards, and again, simple circuit boards require, or they can't be handcrafted. Let me check that again. Simple circuit board, yep, cannot be handcrafted. Where does it say that? Oh, when you click it, it says this recipe cannot be handcrafted, and if we check our recipe book, type in a simple circuit board, product of simple circuit board, which has to be made in a chip shooter. So I think our next big goal is to get to simple circuit board, but before that, actually, I will make extra iron through this ash separation. It makes 10 ash a second, which is good, but it also produces ash again, which we can just loop back in. But we'll start this research, and I think ash separation will be our next big goal before simple circuit boards. And ash separation is complete. Before I cry, let's check what ash separation does. Solid separator. Perfect is something we can craft right now, so I don't have to put that plan on hold. Let me check. Amazing. It is something we can make right now. Okay, so now I'll go and design something, and we can actually use it. Okay, here is a very basic ash setup. We choose ash, we hit the check here, it comes in, gets turned into coal dust, which will just burn, iron oxide, which can turn more iron, and then soot, and then the soot gets turned into iron, copper, aluminum, zinc, lead, and even more ash. Yep, so we can see the iron, and the soot is coming out and it's making some things. So let's actually get rid of these to see how much of each thing we're making. It seems to be it's not taking in the whole line of ash at a time, so we might need a second one. But yeah, it seems like, yeah, not much comes out. It's only 20%, 20%, 30, 10, 10, 10, 10% chance. And I realize it's not like 10% of the chance it'll be this. I think they're all independent of each other, because actually nothing is really coming out at the moment. We're not getting any soot because, yeah, soot's only a 20% chance. We're getting a lot of coal dust, which I don't know if we have use for other than to burn. But yeah, let's just put this at 8 times speed and see what we get in the long run. So yeah, I guess this is not the big boost I had wanted, but I think it does consume all the ash in our system. We'll need 2 of these ash things to go into one of these, and at least it'll consume our ash. We'll be doing something with it. Okay, so we have 2 running now, and it'll basically just increase the throughput a little bit. I mean, this way. Oh shoot, this doesn't seem to be running. It's because it doesn't have a recipe. Okay, perfect. Now this will be running at max speed. It'll consume the entire ash here. As you can see, this is starting to go down. This never really builds up because it has to wait for a split second. And this is basically what we're going to do with all our ash. It's just going to flow in here and make us the tiniest bits of extra ore. But I guess at least we get rid of all the ash in our system. This makes so little input. I'm actually going to just delete these and make them all come out of one, and then just separate them with splitters and boxes as we get to the end. Okay, so I've redesigned it, and I'm testing this design. It's just a little flatter. Again, kind of disappointed at how little output we have. These are all our different ores. What else? I guess it can't really be helped, but at least it consumes all our ash, so we can stop stockpiling ash in the system, and then we get a little bonus ore out of it. We get coal dust, which we can burn off as well. Yeah, I mean, that's really it. We'll go ahead and decorate it, then port it over. Okay. I think I'm going to place the solid separator, the ash disposal, right here. Okay. And then let's get rid of the trees around it and work on inputs and outputs. Mainly, I'm just excited that this ash train is finally going to have an end. And also, I realized that the input for here, the iron plate, if we make it with iron oxide, it's got a crazy ratio. It's only 2 iron oxide to 1 iron plate. So we're actually going to make a decent amount of iron because of the iron oxide. Okay, notice that the iron ore production is dropping slowly, ever so slightly, or by quite a bit actually. So I went ahead and cleared all the ash, and it seems to be going back up again. Should stabilize up here. It does reduce ever so slightly over time because of the resources, rampant resources. The yield decreases over time. Like, we can check what this yield is now. 90% compared to, oh, I guess not much different. To prep for the ash, first of all, I moved the ash up a little bit. But one of the outputs is all the different types of ores. It's going to come down here and inject to existing ores, so it injects into this iron, right? Only iron ore can leave here, only copper ore can leave this one. And we might as well just leave these open because we have no idea what's going to be in them. But yeah, so these will all come in, and then, or you know what? We should separate it to, let's only the top row, because there will be a couple, but it should come in and out immediately. Or actually, there's 6 different types. So as soon as one of them stops moving, like copper, it would clog the whole thing, but it would clog it anyway. So yeah, that's 1. Iron ore, copper ore, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or this one's iron ore, so this should accept 6 different types. Iron ore, copper ore, aluminum, zinc, lead, iron oxide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one should take all the iron ore, right? Because yeah, see, this would output iron ore, but we don't want it to. So this is only copper ore and the rest of them. We're pretty lucky how it turned out, because yeah, we have 6 different things, but there's only 5 different inputs, which is exactly what we have here. So we'll copy this and we'll put it here, and this time we'll take out the copper ore. So iron should stay in this chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. Iron should be in here, and iron can only go up. Copper goes in here. Copper can go only up, and now there should only be 5 going into this, and then we'll reduce it every time we go. Otherwise, that is the ore output. Then we have the coal dust output, which I plan on replacing the main raw coal line with just a general fuel. So I'll dump all the fuel in here, and we can burn that. So basically coal dust. We'll be dumping the coal dust so we can burn it. And then I'll have a separate raw coal line going up, because there are certain things that do need raw coal. Actually, the only thing that needs raw coal is the wood so far. So I'll figure out how to switch it around. But right now, I'm just kind of, honestly, I'm just waiting around, which kind of sucks. Oh, I don't know, I just stopped. Oh no, never mind. That's queued. I'm kind of waiting around for iron so I can finish this up so we can stockpile the ash. The ash also, I could start moving these boxes here so that they're not sticking up for now as well. And the ash is after the output, because these actually need ash, so it'll go here first before being sent over here to be turned into ore. You know what, this is a lazy approach, and it might bite me in the butt later, but I think I'm just gonna take the burnables and combine them with raw coal, and then I'll just, whenever I have something that needs specifically raw coal, which again is only the wood, I'll use a loader and filter just raw coal, because I don't think I'm shoving that much coal dust into my system. And then if it, if it is a significant if it makes significant issues later, then I'll change it then. But I think that's what I'll do for now. Right here, I've just connected all the raw coal to have 1 input and 1 output, and then I'm gonna jam. Shoot, how am I gonna jam something in here? Okay, so we could just make it so that our power is just raw coal, and then we'll just pump in the coal dust input right here. Or hold on, let me think about it more. Okay, I just had this great idea where we could have it wrap around down here, come up, and then deposit it in here. And what this would do is it would actually have priority over the raw coal. And again, I don't think we're producing that much coal dust, so it should be fine. We'll get rid of the coal dust first, and then we'll use raw coal. Man, I feel like I've tried so hard to make everything so organized, but it's kind of all slowly turning into spaghetti. Like this. I mean, I guess this is all one big building now, and they're not separated anymore. So, like, I'm expanding this stone here all the way around here as well. Might as well make it this big. And then obviously we're up here, so not that high, but this high for stone. Okay, and then now these 3 are kind of conglomerating into one. The belts are getting so thick they're not really fitting in between buildings anymore. It's all a giant mess, but it's also beautiful at the same time. Okay, the new decoration looks good. Now we just gotta focus on getting enough transport belts to bring everything down here. Because once we get the outputs up, I gotta set up the iron oxide and iron, and then we could plug in the ash. I've been trying to build this ash thing for a long time now. I just have such little iron input. It was all being used to the research, and it almost backed up, and then I used it all to get the splitters, which I can't even use right now. But at least I got these compact loaders, which are much better. So I mean, the automation science is gonna back up, but then we still have to wait for the small parts to back up before I can really get much iron here. Because I'm just like kind of taking a little bit at a time. Part of it's been redirected to steel, which eats up basically 45% of my iron because it takes 10 plates to turn into one steel plate. Nope, and we have one loader, and we gotta make sure that this is only raw coal. So let's change that to raw coal, so that raw coal can go to the left. Also, we have to make every box going up and down hold up to at least two inputs and outputs now, because we'll be having raw coal and coal dust. Even though I guess raw coal and coal dust can get stuck at any point along the way. We'll just see how it goes. Okay, so I brought the belt all the way down. Should be good to go. I just need to line it with raw coal, or the coal gravel all the way now. Hey, coal gravel's lined up. I'm pretty happy with the progress here because I've been trying to work on ash for a long time. But we have the ash, one of the ash outputs done. Coal dust goes all the way to the beginning. It'll get burned up by the system, and then we have copper and iron ore. Next up, I think just make an iron oxide in here, just to get the extra plates, and the plates can go, directly to our thing. And then I'll just have a chest for the aluminum, zinc, and lead ore, since we don't have any uses for them yet. Or I guess I do have use for aluminum, but I'll just plug it in after I finish my aluminum drilling area. But one more solid separator, iron oxide mines, and then I should be good to go to plug the ash in.